they win the series once again. And even against Ballistix, of course, we don't have Miracle today, but we could see what we're going to... We could kind of think what we're going to see. Ballistix versus Supernova, that's the first one that we have here. Of course, a different story, but still in terms of their power level of what we expect from the top three, they have actually stepped a little bit down.
They have stepped down from where you classically think of them being, but they are kind of on a hot streak. They had a 3-1 against Tempest last week and looked pretty good. If you don't count the second game, they did very, very well. And I was excited because they are kind of trying a few new things here and there. Not as much as Tempest, but we'll talk about that later. But they are having a little bit of success, some momentum coming into today's game. And, you know, for Supernova, their season this season kind of looked like it did last time, but without... it looked pretty much exactly the same. They win their first game to give fans false hope, and then they lose a whole bunch after that. So I hope that today can turn that around.
Supernova, it is their matchup, and where they have to get at least a few games off. I think they're moving away from that crucible spot, certainly because they have a lot more map wins compared to the bottom two teams. But still, it would be lovely to actually get some maps off from Ballistix because they look a lot better than the other two at the bottom. That's
true, and if you had told me, or if you had made that request that they take a game last part, I would not have believed you, G-Clef. But this part, everything is changing. I can't describe how surprised I have been with some of the games, some of the results, specifically Miracle, but also just across the board. It's been very, very surprising. Supernova, you know, took a game off of Miracle last week, and so if they can do that, and Miracle can beat Gen G, does that mean that because Miracle beat Gen G and Supernova beat Miracle, that Supernova is better than Gen G?
No, it does not mean
okay,
that.
I was trying really hard to make it seem that way. But all that to say is that really now, right now, it feels like for the first time in a long time in HGC Korea, anything can happen. So I'm excited to see this, even if it does seem on paper like a little bit of a mismatch.
And boys, I mean nerds and ladies, we are going to Braxis. And we did not have a Braxis game in Part 2, the entire Part 2. We only had one in Phase 1.
Or in Part 1.
That's it. No, not even Part 1 of Phase 2. We only had one game of Braxis in Korea this year. This will be the second one that we have in the entire year of HGC.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep getting I got that mixed up with Volskaya, a couple of the games.
Yeah, not counting the open division, but just HGC straight up KR.
So
we're opening up in Braxis, boys.
Now, sometimes you look at teams that might be mismatched, like if you had like Gen G against Gluck, you know, the 1 versus the 8. If you had that, you might say, hey, you need to pull out something weird. So maybe that's this.
But here, Supernova, they breaking news. They were late 3 times, so they have to break the first ban, just like this. But because they have Braxis, it doesn't matter as much, I would say. It matters a lot, of course, but this map opens up a few of the other heroes that literally does not get played anywhere else, like Morales.
Yeah.
Sometimes some really good wave play. Even Kel'Thuzad comes out sometimes.
And I don't think we've seen either of those heroes so far in HGC KR. So maybe they're going to come out here. I think there's still 22 heroes that have not been chosen yet. So maybe some potential here on Braxis. And I have no potential for Genji.
Yeah, no potential, but this may be the time we... Okay, Phoenix first. SC has been picking that up a little, but Gul'dan has been SDE's favorite mage hero, and which works perfectly for the map. I think we are going to see that Gul'dan, unless Supernova goes super tanky, where he just has to play that Tychus once again.
Okay, now looking for second pick. I mean, obviously there is some strategy to say, okay, well, we give away one strong one, but hey, you were talking about picks specifically for Braxis, and I think this might be, is this what you had in mind, G-Clef?
Is this what we're going to see again? Wait, we had a match with Cho'Gao long time ago from Blossom against Gen G, and they won. It was a game that we will always remember until we die.
I definitely remember
that one.
Today
might be the day, guys. And you've tuned into the right time. Zarya de Haka, so far we do not know what's going to happen. Exactly. Is it going to be the Cho'Gao game again?
You know, I wouldn't put it past them. I would say that, you know, maybe I would expect that more from a team like... who was the other team that pulled that out? Recently in... Is it NA? Oh, it might have been an open division I was watching. But... You know, I've seen it in a lot more in like the lower leagues, not quite so much here at the top end of competition. Now, nothing crazy just yet. I mean, obviously the Zarya is a little bit anomalous, but Cho and Gal, always something that I think wishfully for, but almost never gets to
Here
see.
we go!
Oh!
Scream rapid for
Get
Cho'Gao!
out of here, G-Clef!
Cho'Gao, we have it!
You are cheating! I
no
saw
Aureo
that.
ban! No Aureo ban! There's Cho'Gao, let's go!
What on earth? I saw that crystal ball. Where do you keep that thing, G-Clef?
I know we probably broke your headset speakers and ears bleeding right now, but that's how much hype this is.
Korean casters confirmed.
Yes.
Working on it. Well,
I've been doing a lot of that too. So.
That's
oh,
true.
and they're gonna bring out that percent damage.
Yeah.
And cooldown
Hey, there
as
it is.
Expected.
And there's the Gul'dan you were talking about as well. So the what possible final pick can we see? This is just going to be really, really impressive. First time we get a chance to see Braxis and Cho'Gao coming back at the same time. Man, just so many of my dreams are coming true today, G-Clef. Besides just casting with you.
Well, Aureo, we've seen White Mane with Cho'Gao, which was actually doing a decent job of healing. Let's see which one this. Oh, Tyrande! The rework.
The rework, the buffs coming through. I like what I'm seeing here, and I do like this coming out from Supernova specifically. They are trying something definitely non-standard, trying to make use of some of the newest changes, and I really want to see this in action.
Only 10 mana for the healing now.
Yeah?
But I actually do not like this draft too much. I was expecting an Aureo, or at least something that pairs up really well with the Cho'Gao. This one, I'm not too sure. Tyrande does a lot more, a lot less damage with the Sentinel, but provides some nice healing now. But in terms of synergy with Cho'Gao, not as much that I can think of.
Yeah, the healing's a little bit more, it's situational, but theoretically it could be higher. So I don't know what to expect. Honestly, I looked at Tyrande in the patch notes and I was like, yeah, but there's no way we'll see that in HGC. And so getting that right out of the way off the bat.
No, I had a good feeling that it was going to come out, but not with this kind of team comp. It's the reworked one. We are on the Mephisto patch, but Mephisto disabled. That's what we're on. So we do have the reworked Tyrande.
I'm really excited to see what Mephisto looks like when it comes out, but once again, not today, not for a while. So here we go, getting the chance to see not only just Cho'Gao, but also, always a pleasure, like you were saying, to see SDE on his favorite mage. You definitely don't see too much Gul'dan. And how do you think that's going to play into what is a very kind of crazy way to play Braxis?
It's really hard. I think they're thinking about it. Oh. Are they going for the dive? Look at the damage output. Hooligan's almost getting tossed, and he's gone already.
Yeah, that's not quite the dwarf toss he was looking for there. He does get tossed backwards, and is the first casualty, even though he's so tanky. Not yet.
Well, if you have Gul'dan solo lane, I don't think that's what Ballistix is exactly looking for. Yeah, so the Haka goes all the way down. I think Phoenix is a better one to put out because you need that wave clear with the 3-man that you have on the other side. But they're going to make that switch. Phoenix against the Haka, you know is going to win the lane unless some crazy CC grab happens.
Yeah, I definitely don't think the Haka will have a very good time. And it feels like Kirisaku specifically is put in this position a lot to just kind of take the hit, play the miserable matchup, and then come back and win it in the end. And to be fair, he has done that before, so I definitely don't doubt him. But just look at how much work this shield the Cho'Gao strat is doing up here. Nothing really that SDE and Magi can do, but just try to wave clear as much as they can.
It's going to be a tough one, but once that Martel actually gets... I don't think it's going to be the soul this time. This has to be the strike after to get the percent damage, and they do have lots of range damage where Cho'Gao can't do a thing. So Supernova, they have the strong comp. The early game, they do have to push in already. They're doing the job, but can they actually provide the speed, the right amount of speed for them to get maximum lead before that 10? We'll have to see.
That is true. And look at Kirisaku, or not Kirisaku, Haben. He's just having a little bit of a difficult time right now. He is taking the 1v2 about as well as he can, but he will lose that eventually. So it's kind of a mirrored situation on both sides. I don't know. I guess I can ask you, who do you think this is going better for? Because it seems like there's not really a whole lot to stop Cho'Gao.
Yeah, see, look at the other side. Because the Haka can't really do a thing, and it is... Haben is a tank. He's not the one supposed to be playing that the Haka, but because they have a Cho'Gao in this kind of team comp, and Bentham's actually playing a Zarya, so somewhat flexing into that Zarya role when he's supposed to be the tank.
Yeah, they're definitely trying out a few new things, and obviously you don't build the players on your team around being able to play Cho'Gall. Kind of a unique thing in all esports, I would say. There's nothing quite like that.
Yeah, usually we have Kirisaku on that Dehaka, who's really good.
Yeah, that's why I made that mistake earlier.
Yeah, but because maybe it's the mastery of the hero, but also the pressure from the two-man, it's pretty big. So Cho'Gall does end up doing about the same, not really too much faster than Ballistix did.
Yeah, that's a good realization by Ballistix. Obviously, you don't get a chance to play against Cho'Gall comps all the time. So to mirror that in a way that was just as effective is a great way to start things off.
Yeah, Tyrande, if you don't know the rework, she's a lot more of a... Well, she was kind of an assassin, sentinel damage as well, but a lot less of that, but much more healing now. She's actually a really good support. And I've been seeing personally a lot of Tyrande in the Korean Hero League as well. I think that had to do something with this again, coming for the control point.
I used to like to think of her as like a ranged Karazim, like that support that's not really support because they do so much damage, but now more balanced. Let's actually talk about Cho'Gall taking things up all the way up at the front, but not the first casualty, taking out Phoenix, and now Hooligan is going to be the next one to fall, getting Dwarf tossed out the hard way, and this is control of the point for Supernova.
Yep, because they can actually dive and do damage. Look at that basic attack, auto attack build, and that's why we have. Let's just call it ST.
Or was it? What was it before? It was like Mister, or was it Sir? Something like that. But yeah, ST. All right. Kind of an interesting name bug that happens when you try to cram two names into one.
Well, they do have Tyrande only, but with Zarya, it does help a lot more. I was originally thinking Ariel, but this is working out a lot better for them, actually, for now. For now, I would say, post 10, a lot of crowd control from Ballistix where they can just separate the other members off from Cho'Gall or the other way, and which is going to cause some trouble when there's no shield, amount of healing. Same amount of healing and shield coming out for Cho'Gall will be a different story at Ballistix. They have all the tools to use.
Yeah, Ballistix get the cap down bottom with Phoenix, who had a good time in that lane. Now they recap the point, actually. Really good uses of Decker to zone Supernova off, but now that that's all been done, it's Supernova's time to re-engage there. They've been trying to go for a grab, and he's not going to get anything.
Need that extra length on the tongue later. I think that's what they're looking for. But we could see how SC was actually not scared of doing damage against Cho'Gall. He was pushing out, pressuring because they knew they had all the 5 men. But when they were missing one, the Phoenix, when he went down, that was the moment that Supernova really started the other wave of pushing. But if you control the map, but this is what happens. The reason why Zarya can come out on this map, when you have Zarya, you always feel like you kind of need a global in that case, because your macro is so much harder, because you're slower in the mobile sense in the macro terms, and it's really hard against the globals like that. That's why they also grab the Dehaka in that drafting, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah, so you actually said that you didn't like Supernova's draft, but that actually makes it sound pretty good.
Just Tyrande.
Oh, okay, just the Tyrande draft. I was gonna say like that does complement it pretty well, but actually let's keep an eye on ST. It's not TIST with fewer letters; it's just ST. I thought he was going to look for something a little bit more crazy, but not actually going for that. They still maintain control of the point, but they can't go down bottom. They can't make that rotation to recap the bottom point, so this isn't actually making that much progress for Supernova.
This may be the first one, and maybe the game-ending Zerg wave if you're going to see one, because it's just the merry-go-round for now. Because Phoenix can kind of solo lane, and it's not a global, we can just warp around the map.
Yeah.
Kind of mobile, and Ballistix, all they have to do is wait for that level 10 and then try to out-macro them.
Yeah. Phoenix is a lot like the first cell phones. You know, they were really big, so technically, yes, they are mobile, but they're not really that mobile. So we have seen Phoenix be pretty versatile, moving down to cap the point, back up again to join the fight, back and forth. And pretty much always where he needs to be. So
this Martel with less healing from 7, it will be even worse. Cho'Gall will be having a hard time later on.
Oh, look at that drag! Is that just gonna straight up kill? Oh, the re-aggro on the turrets. Turrets. What side are you on?
The red side. These ones.
Okay, great answer, Jess. Sorry, I'm colorblind. I can't tell.
We have a colorblind mode too.
They don't put that on though. So for some people, it's a mystery.
It's perfectly fine, but when Heaven's getting dove on from his own
What is happening in my
Side
game?
of the map?
Hello? Okay, I'm glad they caught the end of that, but I want to know how that happened in the first place. Lots of poke damage is coming down here, but finally, I don't think Supernova want to engage this, but they're just kind of being poked out. Now they have to back up. Look at SCSC. I want to know how he managed to get into that position.
Solo base racing here. As the other four-man can do a lot of damage. Here comes.
Oh, there goes Planet Cracker from downtown.
Not much help, though. It really...
Yeah, I guess he needed to be part of the fight, but didn't really accomplish a whole lot with that heroic.
Well, that was destructive. We didn't even get to see that haymaker. All that damage put into one. If you stay all together, that's how much damage that Cho'Gao can actually put out.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually get a chance to pay too much attention to the level of Tyrande healing coming in. But, I mean, it was good enough so that they only really, or they didn't really take that much damage really at all. What do you think that fight went so well in their favor?
They were all together, and in terms of the AoE damage, the splash damage you can actually have from Cho'Gao at that small point, it's pretty excessive. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. That's why they have... I think they had less... They were having a bad fight, first of all, and that friendly... Somewhat friendly Planet Cracker actually did not help them too much.
That's the Phoenix. I'm helping. Phoenix gets the participation trophy after the game. But I mean, Ballistix have to know, yeah, you don't play against Cho'Gao a whole lot, but they have to know what not to do, right? And it seems like grouping up is just like first on the list of not a good idea against somebody with so much massive splash damage.
We'll have to see. And Hooligan did take... I think Avatar was actually not a bad one. Of course, peeling for your teammate is totally fine with the haymaker, but he was actually going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think he has like at least 3 of his team's deaths. So that is he's getting some participation in there, but it's still the same thing that's been strong for Ballistix the whole game has been Phoenix, right? Just all game long controlling that bottom lane and actually going to press into the or through the keep even, now onto the core? Is this just gonna like 1v5 win the game? Somebody stop SCSC, this guy's a madman!
Catapults will be coming soon, but as long as Heaven deals with these, that doesn't so that it doesn't really do direct damage to the core or just get shields. One catapult won't really do too much, as Deaka can always use that global brush tucker to join into this team fight, and Phoenix will not be there, but that's the reason why we have the Planet Cracker. And SC is actually going for the damage onto the core. He already started that. There's the pivot.
Yeah, getting everyone on in there. Magi's just going to get blown up. No way. Okay, finally does go down there. Cho'Gao claiming the first casualty on that Deckard. Second one coming through here. And this is just...
Phoenix is pushing. Yeah, look at this.
Supernova, they're winning fight after fight, but it doesn't matter because bottom lane just got crushed into the ground. Phoenix, SC is going to win the game by himself if nobody goes back and stops him.
Backdoor Phoenix. Okay, I have not seen that before.
I'm used to this from, like, Samaros, right?
Yes.
This is not something you really see.
Or Murky or Gasla, but not from a Phoenix.
Okay, well, I was trying to avoid saying either one of those hero names on my broadcast, but yeah. Sometimes, but not from Phoenix, you're right. So SCSC really kind of, putting everybody in his backpack saying, you guys just hold the line up top. Even if you lose the fight, he's still making massive waves on the bottom side.
And it's really hard for Ballistix, especially for Deckard or Gul'dan, to actually dodge all the skill shots of Cho'Gao. Once you're brought in, you can't really escape. And you also have Heaven to connect with CC.
Yeah.
It's a really hard one. I feel like Ballistix, they do have some damage. As long as Phoenix actually joins into the team fight, they have last rights to pick up the kill. And Tyrande can't really stop that from happening as a support. So in terms of 5v5 team fight, if we actually have one in this game, I think Ballistix can actually pull it off. So far it was mostly 4v5. So of course the winning move for Supernova, but this one...
Oh, I don't know if Hooligan, this is like the most iconic Hooligan thing for me, right? Ballistix very strong when they fight as a team, but sometimes they just don't get the opportunity to, because sometimes Hooligan spontaneously combusts somewhere on the map, and I don't know where it's going to be. People doesn't get anybody, but Magi once again, just right in the front lines, getting blown apart here. Even Jungha might be in a little bit of trouble. Down below half and has to back
SC
off.
already goes once again.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder where Phoenix is, G-Clef. Oh, wait, winning the game by himself, or at least trying to.
I think what Ballistix is trying to do is just try to have a teamfight that would last a long time so that SC could actually backdoor and do damage to the core. Look at that, 59 has shield. But once that catapult stacks up a little bit, maybe time with the camp that's going to spawn much later. I think SC can potentially do a little more damage.
I've just never seen a team look to a Phoenix as a backdoor option here. And while, yeah, maybe it looks like a good idea for Ballistix to start the fight. Oh, Planet Cracker coming through. Last strikes on the bent to finish things off. And now actually Hooligan escaping very well, trying to get the lockdown on its Shogal. The damage is coming, but Supernova do get caught out and have to back off. Alex versus Hooligan. Alex actually doing a lot of damage, but
listen.
There we go. Alex getting bopped out there. And only ST making it out.
Yep, I could see the reason why Magi was straight diving in, because he knew that without the Desire Shield, even Cho'Gao cannot survive the damage. Used the last ride perfectly because they're busy shielding, healing the Cho'Gao. Why not kill the other ones then?
Exactly, you focus the supports, and oh, look at this, not going to go very well for Haben. Even with that healing, he's not going to have a good time here. And boom goes the dynamite. There we go, taking him out. And now there's nothing on the bottom side. You have to have Zarya rotate over so slowly. And now with this Zerg wave coming through, I mean, this could almost just be GG.
Well, that the Haka will be hoping that is a part of the wave, part of the Zerg wave or something. Because he's dead. He'll be back in 15 seconds.
He reincarnates as the Ultralist.
Going to the core.
We are going all the way.
Get the grab on the cooldown.
Yeah, the upheaval does bring everybody forward, but I don't know if that's really going to be the way they want to start the fight. There's actually a nice kill as Shogal kicks in, but look at the Husk Rise. It just executes him right off the bat. Bentham might be the next casualty, even with the shields through everything. Ballistix take him down.
Yeah, that's going to be the core call. Only 2 left. And Tyrande does not do the same damage. When you have Last Right, you do so much against the big heavy tanks. That's game 1 Ballistix. It seemed like Supernova had it for the first 7-8 minutes into the game, but it was actually Ballistix having some tactical backdoor there.
The Cho'Gao dream, seeing it again coming into HGC Korea after it's just been so long. I got my hopes up, G-Clef. But
dream is only a dream, Rapid.
That is true. And there's no Malfurion, so maybe this was a daydream, not a Twilight one. But either way, it turns into a nightmare for Supernova in the end. They try something really creative, but Ballistix and their teamwork prevail in the end.
That's what I thought. Tyrande, not a bad amount of healing with the shield, pretty good. But when you actually need to save someone, having something like the Aegis, I think might have been the better save for a lot of your teammates, including yourself.
Yeah.
Ballistix, their team fights, of course, oftentimes 45. They got caught a couple of times. When Deckard is caught, when cooldown's caught, there's not much of an escape. So that's why we see all the 3s up there.
Not a whole lot of ability to reposition yourself as either one of those heroes. So very good.